What's good, y'all? It's your boy Soldaya, and in this video we gonna be reacting to the most painful cartel deaths ever. This is gonna be wild, so without any time waste, let's get right into it.
Peanut butter.
The peanut butter incident? What the hell type of name is that? And how do you die from peanut butter?
On a calm, breezy morning in Mexico City, the day's peace would be interrupted by the disturbed screams of a man tied to a pole. But you're probably wondering how he got here in the first place.
Yeah, I'm wondering that for sure.
Earlier that month, he had been accused of committing an unthinkable crime to a local woman in the city.
Oh
Word
shit.
of his actions spread quickly, angering friends, families, and other locals until a notorious Mexican gang caught wind of the story. For them, justice would not wait for courts and police.
Wait, I'm confused about something. Don't the cartel do the same? Like, I don't know, bro, but
They tracked
sounds
the man
crazy.
down, ripped him out from his house, and dragged him out into the open. They grabbed his hands and bound him tightly.
No,
so that
but imagine how scary that is. You're just chilling, and out of nowhere, the cartel comes, kidnaps you. Like, that would be terrifying. I don't know.
escape was impossible. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, the gang pulled out a tub of peanut butter and began to slather it on his...
What? What?
The man became confused, because while covering somebody in peanut butter is a pretty strange punishment, it's not necessarily painful. However,
That is weird as hell. Out of all things, peanut butter.
his confusion would quickly fall into dread when the men brought out two huge pit bulls. He immediately realized
Oh shit. Okay, I know what's about to happen. Oh no, that's bad. This is bad.
what they were trying to do and began pleading for mercy. However, his cries were drowned out by the growls of the snarling dogs.
Oh, that's bad. That's actually bad. The pit bulls are gonna start eating and how do you even think of that type of like punishment? How do you even think of that about that? That's crazy.
Animals were unleashed. Panic surged through the alleged criminal as he screamed for help. The punishment unfolded brutally. It was a slow spectacle of pain and humiliation. And sadly, his screams fell on deaf ears as locals pretended like nothing was happening.
That's crazy. Wait, this happened like in front of people? That is crazy.
By the time the dogs were pulled back, the
No,
man
but why ain't no one like called it? Actually, I was about to say some dumb shit, bro. Why ain't no one called the cops? It's the cartel.
was left broken in a way that couldn't be fixed. The point was made clear. The gang had delivered their brand of justice and sent an unforgettable message that'll live on in the heart of Mexico City for years.
That is so brutal. Like, how do you even come up with that?
Vile acts against the vulnerable in this city will not be tolerated. 49. On May 12th, 2012, a man in Cadereyta, Jimenez decided to step out of his home for a quick beverage. The evening was warm and calm. It was the kind of night where nothing out of the ordinary was really expected. As the man walked along the highway, the dim lights cast long shadows across the road. Out of nowhere, the man would stumble across what sort of looked like a strange log just lying to the left of the pavement. He barely paid it any mind, stepping past it. Moments later, he saw another one, then another.
Alright, at this point, you gotta start thinking. Like, you gotta start turning back, because what the hell is this?
Each log carrying a foul, nauseating stench that clung to the air. The smell was strong enough to stop the man from walking any further. Confused, he decided to inspect the objects. He crouched closer, squinting at the twisted shapes in the dark. What at first looked like a bunch of discarded stick bundles on the highway slowly revealed themselves as something far more horrifying than expected. The man recoiled in terror. They weren't logs. They were human bodies. 49 bodies scattered across the road. They were men and women, stripped of their dignity. Each of them were missing their heads, hands, and feet.
That is brutal. I can't even lie.
The music was so precise and brutal that it was nearly impossible to tell who they once were. Some of the people were stuffed into plastic bags, and others dumped carelessly onto the roadside. The man's breath quickened as his mind struggled to process the scale of what he was seeing.
Yo, at this point, you should have been ran away. As soon as that stench hit you, even the moment you crouched down and saw it was humans in there, what are you still doing, walking and thinking at night? Get going. I know damn well if this was me, I'd start running away. I wouldn't even think.
A sense of dread swept over him as he realized he had stumbled upon a... In that moment, the silence of the night felt oppressive. The road transformed into a grotesque stage of terror. Later, authorities would confirm what many feared. This was the work of Los Zetas, one of Mexico's most violent cartels.
Holy.
The bodies were left as a chilling message in an ongoing war for control of smuggling routes into the United States. By dawn, the site was swarmed with police and soldiers with their flashlights cutting through the dark as they documented the carnage. Officials were able to arrest the perpetrator of the tragedy, Daniel Jesus Elizondo Ramirez, more formally known as El Loco. This is just one of many atrocities that happen in Mexico because of wars like these. And if there's one thing that's true about these conflicts, it's that the innocents will always be the ones who have to pay.
Why do the cartels go, okay, I understand, going for, rival gangs, stuff like that, but why the innocent people, though? All the stories I'm hearing about, the cartels, why do innocent people have to be involved? This is just crazy.
May their souls rest in peace.
May their souls rest in peace. And, it wasn't just, they were literally, their hands and feet, their heads cut off. That's crazy.
The Ghostwriter incident.
Yeah, just from this name alone, I already know this one's bad.
The CJNG is one of the most powerful and dangerous cartels in Mexican history. The United Cartels is a coalition that was formed in opposition to their control. And on a sweltering afternoon deep in cartel territory, a notorious man known as the Ghostwriter, in allegiance with the United Cartels, would find himself in the grip of one of Mexico's most feared criminal organizations.
What do you even do in that situation? If you get kidnapped by the cartel, you just have to hope and pray because you know it's over. That got to be one of the most terrifying things ever. Getting kidnapped by the cartel. The cartel are people you do not want to mess with. You do not want to mess with. That is, wow.
You see, Ghostwriter got his peculiar name from his horrific reputation. He was known for setting his victims ablaze and leaving them out in the open to be discovered.
Holy!
However, now that he was captured and surrounded by the CJNG, his fate became sealed long before cameras even started rolling. This cartel was not content with simply eliminating a rival. They wanted to carve a message into the eyes of each and every one of their enemies. And in their eyes, Ghostwriter's nickname provided the perfect stage for humiliation.
Oh, yeah.
The camera steadied
I already know where this one's going.
On him as members of the cartel mocked the moniker he had carried. And then with a calm and chilling demeanor, they doused his face in accelerant and struck a flame. What followed was a spectacle designed not just to eliminate, but to terrify. The man's face ignited in an instant. Flames began dancing across his skin, consuming the man's head until it became unrecognizable.
Imagine how painful that is, because, burning gotta be one of the worst things to ever happen. Gotta be the most painful, one of the painful ways to go out, bro, because even touching a stove is it's hot as hell. It hurts, right? Imagine that, you burning, just that continuous feeling of fire just around you. That must be a terrible way to go out. What do y'all think is the most painful ways to go out, bro? Because burning sounds pretty damn bad. I can't even lie.
Bound and helpless, his muffled cries pierced the silence as the cartel stood by, watching. The man could no longer see, and his head now resembled nothing but a skull. But horrifically enough, he was still screaming.
He was still alive? That's crazy.
This terrible sight, paired with his nickname that once gave him power in the criminal underworld, had been twisted into a cruel, barbaric joke. The man had literally become the Ghostwriter, just in a very wicked sense. The video of the savagery spread across the dark corners of the internet, where CJNG often showcased their brutality. And for those who stumbled upon the footage, the sight was unforgettable. A man was transformed into
the footage too, it was online. I forgot a lot of these videos are literally online. You can find them online. I'm not gonna go check them out because I don't want to see this, but holy, that's crazy.
Symbol of suffering and humiliation, and that symbol would unfortunately outlast his legacy. The ball incident.
The ball incidents?
Panic surged through the city as words...
Yo, all these names is crazy, bro. I already know this one's gonna be bad.
...of the grisly discovery made
just preparing myself.
In Los Mochis, police chased down reports of red-stained sacks dumped all over the town. Each one revealed another part of a human body, like some sort of sick, twisted treasure hunt. Inside one bag was a torso, in another bag were severed limbs.
Holy! Yo, the cartel is brutal!
But the true horror that shocked the city came from a janitor cleaning the front of a city hall. While doing his job, he stumbled across a sports bag, but when he went to pick it up, a soccer ball bounced out of it. As it rolled over, the ball revealed that it was stitched with human skin. A man's face...
Oh! What? Yo! What? How do you even come up with this? What is wrong with people? Generally, what is wrong with people? How are they, coming up with this?
This was pulled tight over the leather with its lips sewn shut. and a note beside it read, "Happy New Year, because this will be your last." In early January 2000,
That got to be one of the most terrifying things ever. Like, imagine a ball, right? Of someone's face comes up to you, and you see what it has. It says, "Happy New Year. This year will be your last." Yo, I would be terrified.
2010, a 30
And you can't even go to the police or something because, like, oh, yo, you will not catch me in Mexico. I'm sorry. You're not catching me in Mexico.
6-year-old man named Hugo Hernandez had mistakenly crossed into Sinaloa cartel territory while they were in the midst of one of the bloodiest cartel wars in history against the Juarez. They immediately abducted the man, tied him to a chair, brought out a chainsaw, and well, the rest was history. This is just one of the hundreds of thousands of civilian casualties in this
That's a normal civilian? That's crazy.
non-stop war. The violence is so bad that reporters and journalists stopped reporting on it because they too were brutally
Those stitches. Holy shit. The Funky Town incident. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we all know about this one. This one was bad. It was brutal.
The cameras begin rolling, and then the footage adjusts. The scene is set on a man bound with his hands and legs tied by extension cords. As the camera focuses more, it becomes clear that the man is most certainly not alive.
Holy.
His face is missing, and so are his hands and eyes. However, in sheer impossibility, the man begins moving violently. The camera slightly pans over to the side, and there it becomes apparent that these cartel members hooked the man up to a substance to pump his adrenaline and keep him wide awake and aware.
Holy shit. Oh, that's so... Yo, I'm cringing even thinking about this.
Because of this, it is impossible for the man to pass out. And that's when it starts. The cartel members pull out a knife and stick a metal pole in the man's mouth in an effort to silence him. What happens next is simply just too horrific to mention on YouTube, so out of respect for this man's life and to protect your mental security, I'll skip over it.
What happened to him was crazy. Like, yeah, you know, let's not even get into it.
All you need to know is that they began playing a game with the man's throat while pumping him with substances to keep him alive. The best thing I can compare this to is if you were to undergo surgery and one of the operating doctors forgot to give you anesthesia, which, by the way, is just a medical treatment that typically makes you unconscious and unaware during painful surgeries. Normally in a case like this, you'd shoot up in extreme pain, but since you're restrained, the agony would just cause you to pass out on the operating table. Now imagine if the doctors were also injecting you with some type of liquid that prevented you from passing out.
Yeah, it prevents you from passing out. Like, you have to... Oh my...
And kept you wide awake to watch what they were doing to your body in complete horror. That's pretty much what happened, and after the men were done, the video would finally end. But shortly afterward, another video in the same room would surface. In it, you can see the same men playing soccer with the victim's head, kicking it back and forth to each other in efforts to catch it. What makes this incident as horrific as it is isn't the sheer brutality of their actions. When the men were carrying out this atrocity, it's heavily noted that they would be talking to each other, calm and casually, as if it were another Tuesday morning at their shift. All the meanwhile, a popular 80s hit would play in the background, striking a mind-boggling contrast between their gruesome acts and the fun and enjoyable disco song.
Holy shit, yeah, Funky Town. Oh, that's bad.
The song is called Funky Town by Lips Incorporated, and chances are you've probably already heard this song countless times when you were young. When I was a child, this was a song they played for me at Chuck E. Cheese.
Now, yo, that song must bring back terror now.
And at school festivals. And now, my memories of this fun and stupid disco song are tainted by the actions of the wicked.
No, same, because that Funky Town video was a video I actually saw. Like, I couldn't even pay that much attention to it because it was so bad. Like, oh, it was nah.
The warmth, security, and luxuries we have today were not built on the morals of the evil. They're built by those who dare to be inspirational instead of evil. They're built by those who sacrifice themselves to protect their country. They're built by good men and women who figured out that love is stronger than wickedness.
That's facts.
Be a good person to the world, your neighbors, and most importantly, to yourself.
That's a W message. Like, that's facts.
And as usual, don't search any of these videos up. Be safe and...
It's a bit too late for that, man. I already saw one of them, bro. The Funky Town, and let's just say it took me days to recover. Y'all, don't search none of that up. Don't search none of that up.
Have a happy day, lads.
You will never seem like, I'm sorry, I don't think I can ever go to Mexico. Like, knowing like everything that goes on there, I just don't think I'll feel safe going to Mexico. Like, I don't know, I just can't do it. But like, y'all don't research any of these videos, because I know you're gonna hear this, you're gonna be like, ooh, I want to go check this out. I guarantee you won't be able to sleep at night. Like, it's so bad. I don't know how human beings can do this to another human being. Like, it's terrible. It's generally terrible. That's the only way I can put it. But hey, if y'all enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm gonna catch you on my next video. Stay safe and peace.